Awesome. All right. Hey guys, and welcome to Smells Like Teen Angst. I'm Sarah, and today, in partnership with that hashtag show, I am bringing you Poppin' Off at Pops, our Riverdale reaction after show. Let's do it. I just love that when the song plays, I can still see what faces you guys are making, and it's magical.
You saw me dancing?
Yeah, I see you. Jordan's dancing. Kiki's like, ah, in like full range mode. Anyway, ladies, tell us who you are.
Hi, I'm Jordan.
Jordan, and then the other one joining me this evening, as always.
Hi, I'm Keiki.
And we are Popping Off at Pops, the Riverdale after show. So first up, real quick, business. I have a corrections corner, and I probably should have written down the username, but I didn't. Sorry. I was corrected in that Principal Honey did not die, which we also confirm again in this episode we watched this week. So sorry about that. Also, we put up a couple of polls because we had a lot of big opinions about prom dresses and like the reveal of the Archie breakup. So I just want to talk about these polls real quick. We had the who wore the best prom dress, and everyone seemed to agree that it was Betty Cooper at 50%, with Cheryl coming in a close second at 28%. But no one liked Tony. Tony had like a 3%. It's okay.
You know, like we said, Tony's dress wasn't ugly. It was just wrong time, wrong place.
Yes, agreed. And so then our second poll, I like these polls, guys. So join us on Twitter. It's where I put them at SLT Angst. Was who is going to break the news to Jughead about the Archie affair? Veronica, Cheryl, Betty, or someone else? And people think that Betty is going to have a consciousness thing consciousness, you know what I'm saying? Like moment of goodness and confess herself is what it seems to be.
Mm-mm.
I don't see that happening. Especially after this week.
Yeah. And second place was Veronica confronting Jughead. But I just think that's weird because they aren't really good friends. They're like a weird, tight-knit friend circle that actually aren't friends. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, no, they hang out, but like they're not buddies.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it reminds me of Insecure, how Issa and Molly are friends, and then the other two are friends, and the four of them hang out, but like we don't see them pair off like this.
Mm-hmm. It's very much that, but I also do think that Veronica is the one person in the show who's always in everyone's business. So I don't see her not like spilling some type of secret, you know?
Yeah, I can see that. So I am going to put up a new poll on our Twitter at SLT Angst because we did get a big reveal in this episode, which we will talk about. And now I just want everyone's opinion. Like, what is the worst Riverdale mystery reveal to you? Was it tonight's reveal of the Archer? I don't even know how to say that word correctly.
Archer. I thought I knew how to say it, and then you couldn't say it, and now I can't say it either.
Yeah. The Gargoyle King reveal, who the Black Hood ended up being, or the reveal of who killed Jason Blossom. So comment below, join us on Twitter, and we will pop up those poll results because I think they're important. All right, ladies. Is it time?
Let's get into it.
To discuss the latest episode that is supposed to be what was the name of the episode? Do you remember?
The Preppy Murders.
The Preppy Murders. Thank you, because I even had a note like for being the Preppy Murders. We didn't really see it. Just to give us a mini recap, Archie and Veronica are no more, and he's not going into the Navy, and that's kind of like the biggest thing hanging over. And the Archer left another video of when Archie's dad got shot, and like Archie's kind of like lost his mind.
Kind of, or like hardcore unhinged. Like,
I mean, you're not wrong.
We start the episode and he's like boxing in his room. He wakes up his mom. His mom is, let me get you some sleepy time tea. And he's like, no, I'm just gonna go for a run. Don't mind me.
Yeah, don't mind me. And then Archie comes home. I'm gonna pop this photo up real quick, and sees that his mom is watching the video and decides to bust the TV with a bat. Like, I'm sorry, Archie, do you have TV buying money? Like, you decided to destroy the one thing that entertains your life?
Okay, so not even that. Archie is so 0 to 9,000 right now that it's like, are you using, bro? Like, Archie built up to these things. This is not him right now.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot. And you know, go ahead, Jordan.
It's just bonkers. Like, Archie, it's a VHS tape. You could just pull the ribbon out and move on. Like, you don't have new TV money.
Right. Well, he did destroy the tape and then goes, "That's not enough," and rages and destroys his mom's television, that lovely vintage television from like the 70s that has 3 channels. You know, I was just like, what is happening with this poor boy? Oh, Archiekins.
Poor baby.
I'm just like, I need him to have some help. Something that happens, well, I guess we can talk about this later, but we did call totally that Hiram was going to come and confront him because he overheard the whole conversation. And I was like, oh, okay, great. This show, as predictable as it always has been, has become even more. And I feel like we're able to peg exactly where everything's going. And I'm kind of worried that Riverdale is heading the route of the writer's strike shows that kind of died. And this is going to be like a COVID issue for a lot of TV shows that might be coming back, including Riverdale.
I definitely think that COVID is going to impact the lives of these shows, because even if everybody's just as passionate and they want to be in on it and buy in and do the great jobs that they've been doing, it's just everything has to take a break, and we keep taking these breaks. So I don't even know how many episodes they filmed, but they're already not filming again because LA is back on semi-weird lockdown, bad COVID numbers. So it's just, Grey's Anatomy is the same thing. They produced like 6 episodes and now they're on hiatus again. So I think we're just in a really weird position.
And something I saw was people were like, oh, just remember, they filmed all these episodes before going. And the truth is they didn't. They only filmed through episode 19. So we're seeing 20, 21, and 23, which are these 3 episodes. So they had to rewrite them, recut them. And with the way this episode built up to the reveals, built up to all the drama kind of just like coming to a head, it felt so lackluster and like nothing exciting happened.
Well, and see, that was the question that I had.
Chaotic. Sorry, I was just saying it's also very chaotic how they're kind of building to each person or revealing who people are in these final episodes. Like, I know we're in a season 5, but this is technically the wrap up of season 4. And everything that they drop on us is just so quickly and unmotivated that it's just like you call it and it happens and you're like, that's out of nowhere.
Yeah. And as we said, like, this episode's called The Preppy Murders. And we hear, like, we get a phone call at the beginning to Jughead and Betty from Wesley or whatever his name is, doesn't even matter. That, like, he's like, I've got information for you. And then he dies and his eyes are gouged out. And then you learn, like, Joan has been murdered. And then you get a call from another girl. Like, I'm just going to, like, in case anyone forgot, because as we've realized while rewatching this, we don't remember a ton from season 4. So this guy calls and is like, hey, Brett Weston, there it is. I've got info. And then Donna calls and is like, hey, Joan's been murdered. And I'm just like, who are these people and why do I care? And then it ends like that. There's zero play out for that.
But also, can we let Betty Cooper get her sleep? Can we let Betty Cooper, if one more person interrupted Betty Cooper's sleep, I will hashtag triggered. Let Betty sleep.
Oh man, that deserves a hashtag. Let Betty sleep. It's going, it's happening, it's going on this right now. Here you go. Hashtag
Thank you.
Let Betty sleep. Because it's true. Everyone's like, I have drama, and let's wake up Betty.
But do you guys think that because these reveals did feel a little rushed and a little lackluster, do you think that is a byproduct of COVID and they are really trying to rush it? Or do you think that they didn't change the scripts? Because I'll be real, this auteur reveal seems very in line with the other mystery reveals we've had. And not even that it's bad per se, but that it happens so quickly. We get all this build up, and then in one episode, they're like, here it is, and now it's over.
Right. My question is, does it feel so lackluster because we've had so much time, or was it always just going to feel this way?
My question to butt in is, we already know that Riverdale does this, but is it this whole idea of like, because they're in a rush, they don't need to really set it up? I feel like we get a little bit more clues in the past reveals where we've kind of drawn a line towards these people already. And in this particular one, I was just like, okay, they gave it to us. Great. It's over.
Yeah.
Did you figure it out before the end of the episode, like before they said it?
I figured out.
Yeah.
I figured out last week because so let's just talk about it. Y'all, the auteur, the voyeur is none other than Jelly Bean.
Who I thought was 12.
I am so disappointed in her.
Yeah, I mean, and the reasoning they gave was so terrible that it makes me wonder if that was the original person. I'm like, the reason she's doing all of this is to keep Jughead around and from going to the prep school. He's been home forever and you're still going. You just don't want him to go to college.
And then she didn't even get in trouble is the thing. Like, FP just gave her a hug and was like, sometimes you got to make some weird fake films, you know?
It's totally fine. Not an issue.
Do some diabolical things. It's okay, Jelly Bean. We've all been there.
Can you get her some therapy classes, FP? Therapy classes? Whatever. Y'all know what I meant.
Mm-hmm. No, I got you. Like, this reveal was so garbage. And also, like, another thing, like, they're talking about how Charles, right, this guy, is bugging their house and still working with Chick. And I'm like, but what for? Like, what was the point of that entire reveal? What's his storyline that I don't remember? Okay, apparently that was a thing from last season that I completely forgot.
We knew that they were. Did I sleep through that episode? I didn't know they were boyfriends.
I just thought that Chick was his roommate, right? Who stole his identity because Chick needed a place to hide. I thought that was what they gave us.
Yeah.
When did they start fucking? Someone
I had to Google because you know, Keiki and I are roommates. If anyone doesn't know, she's in our living room and I'm hiding in our studio space, which is also known as my bedroom. That we are sitting there watching this episode and looked at each other like, what? And then I Googled it, and apparently it was revealed in an episode. It was just like this in that moment, which is what they flash back to in this episode. But I guess it's like the reveal for Betty and Jughead, and it's something we were supposed to already know. And I completely forgot. I kind of feel like I needed to rewatch season 4, but I didn't want to because it doesn't matter after 3 episodes. So,
right.
God, but this reveal was just so bad. It makes me mad.
Well,
and this is why I'm throwing up the poll. People, join us. This has to be the worst reveal because even Betty's dad as the Black Hood wasn't this bad.
No, I'll fight you on this one. I think the Black Hood was worse.
I don't know if it's the fact that it's her dad that's worse or the fact that they're like the gene. She's got the serial killer gene is worse. I don't know what actually makes it worse.
The Gargoyle King.
You and I have argued about this.
Can you say the Gargoyle King?
Took 2 years.
Yeah.
That has to be the worst.
No, we've argued about this in person. The Black Hood was freaking Betty's dad, and Archie didn't recognize him. You've lived next door to this man your whole life, and you didn't recognize. If my neighbor, who I've lived to my whole life, had on a ski mask, I'd be like, "Yeah, Francisco, I can recognize your legs."
Yeah.
I see you every day.
But they used a different actor and it wasn't even his eyes. Because I don't think that the writers even knew that they wanted it to be Betty's dad.
Oh, no, for sure.
Yeah. And then that whole storyline that went off into Charles. So I just got to keep popping it up. Charles and Chick being a thing. I'm not going to get over this. It's just.
That needs to be our next spinoff. Forget about Katie Keene. We need Charles and Chick.
Charles
and Chick.
Yeah. Oh, when watching this episode, how they got like the God is watching sign from the owl man. I was like, is this Bette Midler? God is watching us. God is watching us from a distance.
Stop.
Like
flagged, girl.
It's less than 5 seconds. We'll be fine. But yeah, so the worst of the worst reveal. And I feel like I didn't see it being Jelly Bean until we saw her at that random party. And then it was like, what's the point of her being there? She obviously now has to be the otter, right?
Yeah.
Lame.
What I don't get with how they're wrapping up these storylines, and there are multiple storylines that they wrapped up in this episode, is then, well, what's going to happen next week? Because we still have one episode in between now and the time jump. But we're like, we know what's going to happen with Cheryl. We know what's going on with Veronica and her sister. And like, I mean, there's more things that we're going to get to. We know about the otter, but it's like they're wrapping up everybody's storylines. Like, what's left?
Like, exactly. The next thing is to break up Bughead, is how I kind of see it, right? So that'll be the next big thing.
Need 45 minutes of that.
I don't either.
But I also feel like we kind of rushed this whole Hermosa and Veronica relationship. Like they can't stand each other. Then all of a sudden she's saving her life. Like, come on.
Hold on, I have a photo of this girl.
She's also, if we all recall from last season, responsible for trying to take down Veronica's business. And then she's like, let's go into business together, sister. Like, let's take daddy down. No, this girl's got some type of secret motivation. I'm not stupid.
Absolutely. And Veronica is like eating it up, hook, line, sinker, because as much as Veronica wants to think that she's her dad or even her mom, she's not.
No. But I don't necessarily think it's a secret motivation. I think it's just an easy way to wrap up Veronica's storyline and get her to wherever they want her to be 5 years from now.
Yeah.
You know, if they want her to be in control of Lodge Industries 5 years from now, then, you know, we got to make her and Hermosa take over the company in this episode.
Yeah. Something that was said in this episode by Veronica was that she's talking to her dad and she's like, your horoscope sign might be a Scorpion, daddy. And I was like, oh, Hiram's a Scorpio. That tracks.
Right, same. I had the same realization. Oh, he's a Scorpio?
I was like, okay. And then can we just take a minute? Because now we know, like, the sister's trying to take over the mafia business. Who knows? Like, Veronica might be running it because he's deciding to step down since Veronica didn't coddle him. It's dumb. It doesn't make sense. But then we've got Mrs. Lodge talking about, I'm leaving you, hubby, and I'm going to go take that contract with the Real Housewives of New York.
Get it, girl. Flip those tables.
I was just like, where did this go? Andy Cohen has asked me.
Clearly, she's not going to be on the fast forward. This is the last time we're seeing her.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The weirdest name drop in the world that it didn't make sense to me at first. Like, I was like, oh, I know the name Andy Cohen, but it didn't click for me because there's such like polar opposite things in my brain.
But the fact that she was just like, I had this offer before and I'm taking it to the Real Housewives of New York. I just like, okay, so this is what's happening. She's like, I only stayed with your father to protect you. Okay.
Okay, but also you had me in the streets. I had to build a speakeasy under the diner and
you were screwing around with Archie's dad.
Yeah. And he also has another child you guys never told me about, but sure.
That's not Mama's. And Hiram's just gonna go live his best life in the Cayman Islands. While Hermosa and Veronica go off. And this is something I will say this on our thing. I do not, just as much as I don't like Hiram speaking Spanish, because I understand Marcos Suelos is a Latin man, but he sounds as white as I do when trying to say things. And so does Camilla. Like, hermosa. Like, it's always so.
It's not even that, like, overdone, the accent to me. It's that they throw the Spanish in places where it's just not natural at all. You know, like it's just so random.
Yeah. Mija. Oh my God, it's so aggressive.
Nobody talks like that.
We live in Southern California. We hear this constantly all the time. And I'm just like, someone needs to immerse them. Anyway, that's my last rant because I have a feeling I won't be able to have this rant ever again if Hiram leaves forever. Mija again. So speaking of Mama having the affair, let's hop back to Archie real quick because Hiram's like, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree about his cheating with Betty. And I was like, excuse you, pot, kettle. There, you have another daughter here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, that's aggressive. But I feel like, is there anything really else to talk about? Oh, Archie like rage beating up his uncle.
Archie was just drinking that Roy juice this episode and was just beating up everything, everybody, yelling at all kinds of people.
Like I said, Archie has to be using, he's got to be on that, got to get big bro juice to like be acting this way because Archie, he has some, red rage, but
the red paladin rage.
Yes, but it ain't like this. And maybe it's because it's a condensed episode, but it's a little too real.
Yeah. I feel like they were really trying to give Archie an arc because since season 1, Archie hasn't had an arc, right? So like he was like the music guy, and then he's just the guy that's torn between girls. And with the unfortunate,
hey, are you forgetting when he started a freaking chain gang? Archie had arcs. Let's not do my boy dirty, okay? He's a vigilante. He's teaching inmates how to play football. Archie has arcs.
Yeah, but where did all these arcs like come from? Because he's forgotten.
He was raising, y'all. What happened to the little children he was getting off the street, y'all?
I mean, he's still doing that, right? With his gym. So like
anyone in the gym but him.
I mean, that's fair.
And that old man.
But I feel like with Luke Perry's passing and them, them actually not recasting the character and letting him pass on, they've given Archie a level of character development he never would have had. Right? Because when they shot Fred the last time, they let him live.
So you're saying Archie killed his dad? I'm just kidding.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Oh my God.
You mean they fridged his dad? They put his dad in the fridge. Archie's gone.
Because now he's having all these feelings. He's very angry. That man who's the father of the kid who killed Fred Andrews, like asking for the letter so his son doesn't go to jail forever. Then just like that full on bottled up thing that Archie's been going through since season 1 has finally come to a head, and beating up his uncle in order to let all that aggression out because a punching bag was not enough. I don't know. Poor Frank.
But Frank took the punches like a real man. And then they went to go visit Archie's dad's grave. So, like, it was worth it.
To give the dad some closure that, like, oh, you didn't die in vain. Sure. Yeah. But again, how is this helping move the storyline along? I mean, we're about to do a serious time jump.
Yeah.
And I still have no idea where Archie's going to be now.
Well, we know he goes to the Army. We just don't know how he's going to get there. The fact that he doesn't get into the Navy isn't enough. So Frank was a mercenary and he was in the military. Was Frank in the Army? I don't remember.
I don't know where he was.
Because if he was in the Army, that would make sense. And he would follow in Frank's footsteps.
I guess we'll find out next episode. They're going to break up Bughead next episode. And we're going to find out where Archie goes. That's the
graduation. Let's pop into Cheryl because Miss Cheryl Blossom had a lot going on, honey. Hi. She is trying to make amends. She's with her company and, Tony's family. because Tony's family now hates them. I will say I'm glad that they didn't officially break them up because I thought Tony was done with last episode.
Same.
So you've got Cheryl just trying so hard to make amends for her family, and they won't let her sell like land back to Tony's people. And like the mom, she like rolls up on her mom, who she still has locked up in the brothel.
I know.
And I just love that like her mom is all like, go somewhere, you're gonna need an alibi. And then the entire Blossom clan is murdered.
And then Cheryl tries to act surprised. She tries to act surprised.
I was like, oh.
Suicide pact. There was a note and everybody died.
Everybody died except for Cheryl, her mom, and grandma. And those are the ones. So I just like Cheryl rolls up. She's like, why are you in mourning? I just like, the whole clan died, my dear.
With her milky eye.
With her milky.
Oh, why don't I have a photo of the grandma?
Oh.
I would pop that up.
I think it's probably a way to get her mom back into the show.
I hope so. I loved her mom's character.
Her mom. Like the Crimson Queens need to run this show. I've always been about the Blossom family because they're just so like they're the definition of like money kept secrets, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like Hiram's very new money, mafioso type of situation. The Blossoms are like, no, we bury bodies to keep things the way we want them.
The Blossoms are very much East Coast old money.
Oh, yeah. And I love it. I live for it. I'm so sad that family's storyline really took a back seat over the last couple seasons. And I feel like this is a way to set them up to be a much more prominent storyline once the time jump happens. Because Cheryl's going to be running an empire.
I'm
hopefully
so
with Tony.
Where Cheryl is 5 years from now.
And maybe that's Cheryl and Tony's baby. Like Cheryl, like they're, because you know Tony's pregnant in the new episodes that came out, and it's like, but who's the baby daddy? Maybe they're having a baby together, and they just had like a sperm donor. I don't know.
What if they found a way to unfreeze Jason's sperm?
Stop it!
No,
you stop that!
What is wrong
right
with
now?
You.
but I can see it. That's the thing.
Listen, he had his body in a wheelchair in the house. They could totally have his sperm.
They could. Men can have babies forever. Oh my God! What if they did that? Just like, and then like basted Tony, and so that way she had a Blossom heir.
Y'all are acting like weirder things have not happened on this show.
I mean, you're right, but
I think you're right.
That's like wrong because he's dead. We started this show with him being dead.
I mean, like Raphael and Jane the Virgin, Raphael wasn't dead, but he did have cancer and like saved his sperm. That was a whole accidental artificial insemination. So it's
a different story. It's not a dead man's sperm. This is like, what if Hugh Hefner all of a sudden had another child? Hef has been gone for a few years now, guys. It's wrong.
Science is crazy, y'all.
Science is crazy. I'm here for it, Jordan. I think you're going to break the internet with this theory, and I'm here for it, and I like it. Let's jump to just the rest of like Jughead and Betty, because we talked about the terrible reveal. But there was some good news. Jughead is now was accepted into like a prestigious creative writing school.
Yeah, the same one from Girls, the Iowa like writing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he gets to go off and be an awesome writer, and they're probably going to have that conversation about being long distance, and then something's going to happen and they're going to break up.
Yeah, because that's very typical. I mean,
right?
The thing is, I always expected them to break off all these relationships as they went off to college, because that's just what happens.
Yeah.
But leaving us in this kind of crossroads where we're not sure if who's going to reveal this whole Archie Betty secret, and is this the end of Archie Betty ever being together? Because clearly we've always thought from the beginning it's going to be them, but did it have to get around to it like in such a chaotic, messed up way?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they'll just let them have a clean break and we'll just get to say bye to Bughead in a nice way. Because we also don't really know what Betty's going to be doing. Like maybe she's going to take over the newspaper. Maybe she'll never leave Riverdale. I don't know.
I thought Betty was going to Yale or Brown or something like that.
Isn't that Veronica? Is she going to like Pemberton or some fancy?
Veronica's going to Barnard, right?
Barnard.
Go to Barnard. Yeah, Veronica's going to Barnard. Archie is going to the army eventually. Ed's going to Iowa. And I think we don't know where Betty, Cheryl, or Tony are going.
Right. And Betty's still dealing with, Charles's not surprising confession and how she can read people. That's another banner I put up. How not surprised were you by Charles's confession of what? Creeping on them? I still don't understand the point. And like her having the serial killer gene, right? Like,
I just don't understand why Charles is still around. Like, I feel like they should have done with Charles what they did with Dan and Serena's half brother in Gossip Girl. Like, he was here for 6 episodes, nobody liked him, and then he was gone, and you never heard about him again.
Right? We don't need a Dawn. We don't need a Connor. And for anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, those are Buffy and Angel references when they bring in random people and they stay way too long.
Yeah, I definitely think that it's adding too many layers to something that like nobody ever asked for.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll just see. Overall, I was really let down by this episode. What about you guys? I feel like we're all on the same page a lot, like pretty much.
I was bored for a bit of it. It just happened.
And fast. Everything happened way too fast, and I feel like since we have 3 episodes, they could have left some for next week.
Right.
And really given us more.
And the way that they're editing it now too is like really cutty, really fast. I just flunked exactly. And it just, for me, I got bored, but it wasn't because it was slow. It was just kind of like because everything just kind of happened. And there was no like good reveal. There was no, like I just didn't care about anything happening.
I feel like you have to watch this show, at least in these last 2 episodes, almost like how you would watch a show in a different language. Like you're paying attention. You have to pay attention so closely, or else in the matter of like 5 seconds, you've missed the whole end of a storyline,
Yeah, because we're so fast, like in and out of scenes. Like literally scenes are like 5 sentences of dialogue and something happened, where I really wish that they would have just like let it breathe and connect a couple scenes together so it didn't feel so choppy and I felt like I could follow the story a little better. I don't know.
Also, I kind of long for like a Veronica Lodge event. Like, I just want some of their like fun party glamour, let's party to fix everything type of Riverdale situation. And it's really not that. And when it comes to our murder mystery type of storylines that we get in Riverdale, they're just wrapping up so quickly that it feels like we're coming in on something we've missed.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I really hope next episode, since we are having the graduation, is one of those like Veronica Lodge, let's party to forget everything. Because especially she's very keen on keeping this whole her and Archie charade to going. Mm-hmm. So I think that she will, throw one last speakeasy party, and I hope that Reggie and Kevin and everybody's there, and we get to say goodbye
to these kids that we've seen kind of grow up over the last few years.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
not even kinda.
Next episode is graduation. It's the final one to say goodbye to season 4 before we hit that 5 or 7 year time jump, whatever it is now. I don't remember. And hopefully we'll get some really juicy stories out of it. I don't know.
So I think I asked this last week, but if I didn't, have they announced they're recasting Jellybean? Are we getting, because now before I was kind of like, oh, I wonder what they're going to do with her. But now, considering that we know that she was the author, she was making the damn movies.
Yeah.
Are they just going to write off, or what's going to happen?
I don't know.
Good question.
Yeah, I have no theories. Like maybe they'll send her to the farm. I'm just kidding. No.
She's going to go upstairs like Judy on Family Matters.
Right.
No. Do not bring that up. I don't want any more farm. I don't want any more Black Hood. I don't want any more Gargoyle King. Like all these storylines, Riverdale has done a great job of dragging them out. That I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm just really curious because every season we get a cliffhanger, right? So what are they going to do if there's a time jump? Are we not going to get a cliff? I'm just curious what the cliffhanger will be from graduation to the following week's episode, or maybe we just won't get one. It'll just be like this is.
Jason Blossom is going to walk in, and he's going to have been alive this entire time, and we're going to learn that they were actually triplets. Not twins.
Well, weren't they like? Didn't she like?
It's gonna be some kind of mystery.
There's already a triplet that Cheryl like absorbed in the womb or something.
She didn't absorb it.
Oh, the Blossom family lie because they have quite a few.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, ladies. Is there anything else that we missed that you want to cover? No.
I think.
I
think we hit it all.
I think we hit it all. So, guys, if you have anything to discuss that we missed that you're super passionate about, hit us up in the comments. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and ring that bell. And we will see you next week on Poppin' Off at Pops when the kids hit graduation.
Oh God, no. If they play that song, I will burn this place down.